Welcome back to SnowRunner, guys, and in this video, we are actually going to be spending some time with some console mods on my console, the Xbox Series X, and we're going to be heading out to the Top Truck Challenge course with Red's Bronco in its console version. So, basically, everything that we're doing in this video, you can actually replicate on your console, or at least you should be able to, even with the current memory restrictions. This video was filmed before the release of the memory update patch, if you still happen to be watching this in the future. But with all that being said, yet again, this is a very easy combination of mods to have. All you need is the Top Truck Challenge map and Red's Top Truck Challenge Bronco, and you should be able to have both of those active at once, no matter what system you're on, or at least I would hope. And if you're not able to have those both active at once, just make sure you use the mod feature called Clean Up, and that will clean up all of your mods, and then you should be able to re-download both of these and install them and be good to go. So with that being said, let's go ahead and get into the video. Now, with all of that being said, I really wanted to share with you guys my very first experience of using this vehicle on consoles, because with both the Red Charger and the Top Truck Challenge Bronco now available on the console mod browser, it really puts the community in an interesting place, because now we have two of the best rock crawlers slash trail riding vehicles really that have ever come to this game in terms of mods. Now, that's not to say that there aren't a ton of other absolutely incredible high-end crawlers out there, but these two are definitely two of the best. Now, with that being said, the one we're going to be focusing on in this video is obviously the Bronco, but the map itself is also a big star here. Now, this thing is obviously very simple to build. All you have to do is really pick your tires and then a couple of visual mods, and then off you go. Now, we decided to go with the Nitto Trail Grapplers for this run because I really like the tread pattern and I really like them as an all-round tire. And what I suggest you do if you want to have a really good, well-rounded vehicle test is that you leave the garage and then turn left. That will take you to one of the very first obstacles that will get you through some really gnarly rocks as well as a mud pit right after that. Now, you can bring any vehicle out here that you want, but I really do think that this combination means a lot to me, because the very first vehicle that I tested here when this map was first released on PC, near almost a year ago, well, not quite a year, but probably a good 10 months or so ago, the very first vehicle I took here on PC was the PC version of Red's Bronco, and I think having this combination now available on consoles almost a year later is really interesting to think about, because it's one of those things where, you know, back then we were like wondering to ourselves when console mods were going to happen, and then now here we are experiencing that same exact combination on consoles, and it really does look incredible and play incredible on the Xbox Series X. Now, I would love to know in the comments section down below if you guys were able to make this combination work for you, and if you were or were not, let me know what system you're on in the comments. I know the last time I asked you guys this, I actually got a lot of people from the PlayStation side saying in the comments that they were able to run a lot of mods and they were able to run very effectively, whereas I saw a lot of Xbox players actually chiming in and saying that they weren't able to have any more than just one mod on at once, and I was actually kind of surprised to hear a lot of, you know, smooth experiences from the PlayStation side and a lot of seeming mod issues from the Xbox side, because that's a little bit flip-flopped from the reports that I have gotten in the past from you guys, whereas after this recent patch, it does seem like some of the Xbox players may be having a few more issues. Not a lot more, but a few more. Now, again, I cannot stress enough to you guys how effective that cleanup feature can be. So basically, you go to the mod browser and then you hit the More Options button, and there will be a cleanup button that you can, or I should say a cleanup tab that you can select. You just hit that, confirm it, and it will wipe all of your mods, and then of course you can begin reinstalling mods as you see fit. Now, the only thing that I would caution you guys against with using the cleanup feature is if you already have mods downloaded that are, say for example, in console recheck right now, they are still on your system. Like, say for example, a map that was in recheck for a while was TNB Trails, but you can still use it. You just have to sort by maps that you have already downloaded versus maps and mods that are currently available on the live browser. So I do caution you against that, But if you're really having a ton of issues, like, you know, and you can't enable more than one mod at a time, just try cleaning everything up, uninstalling everything, and then just re-downloading the current live builds of all of the mods you are interested in. Now, moving back into driving this vehicle, I really do love how crisp the game runs on the Xbox Series X. Even though it's not necessarily optimized for next gen, it really does look and play very, very, very well on the next gen consoles. And I would love for you PS5 guys, you know, you next gen PlayStation users, to chime in on the comments and let me know what your gameplay experience has been like. Now, of course, as of recording this video, that mod memory patch, that console mod memory patch, is currently still in development and still being worked on. But I encourage you guys to not get discouraged if certain mods won't either enable or just flat out are not available on the browser right now or are kind of stuck in console recheck. Now, a lot of the mods that, for example, I get a lot of questions about are the Big Moose 3500, aka the second gen, and the L400, aka F250, F350 replica. Now, both of those should be able to drop on consoles after the memory patch or the RAM patch goes live. Now, hopefully also the IX Wrecker will return once that memory update goes live, but, you know, Puppy Master even said, you know, he hopes that that 40% increase should make the IX Heavy Wrecker available to come back, or eligible, I should say, to come back. And I really, really hope it does too, because I think in terms of a usability standpoint, that is one of the most usable and most entertaining mods that you can really have in the entire game. And I think it's kind of, you know, it's kind of a shame that it didn't end up making it back through console recheck after the memory patch, or at least the memory limitation patch, actually went live at the drop of Phase 3. But they are, obviously, like I said before, they are working on that patch. They are going to drop that patch soon, and all we have to do is sit tight and just know that it is coming. Now, I really do love this climb section right here. I think this thing really walks it with ease, but it would be quite a challenge for a lot of other vehicles. And what's interesting about this crawl section is that I never really came here much when I first played this map on PC. I definitely hung out on the other side of the map a lot because there are some really great trails over there. But I will say, this side of the map and this canyon section in particular poses a lot of interesting challenges, especially when you mix in the narrow track as well as the rocks and the deep, deep mud pit looking areas that are actually just really, really deep water. And it really will put a vehicle through its paces, and you can spend hours out here at this map testing your favorite crawlers back to back to really see which one is best. Now, one of the biggest things that I am really hoping for in terms of the RAM increase patch, or at least one of the biggest things I'm hoping we'll be able to do again, is use a pickup truck with a gooseneck and a couple of crawlers on it. That's really what I want, and that's really what I'm looking forward to seeing happen once that RAM increase patch goes live. And I think that's definitely the sentiment of a lot of other console players, because that's kind of a trend that I see in the comment section. Is a lot of you guys want to see those pickup trucks. A lot of you guys want to see that second gen, that L400. And I think once the second gen and the L400 are both in the game, and also the Delta pickup is reapproved and back in the game, I really think that we'll have an incredible lineup of usable pickup trucks to stand alongside our really exciting lineup of high-quality crawlers, like, again, for example, this, the Red Charger, and a lot of other vehicles that I really hope make their way to consoles very soon, along with some more crawler maps that I really hope make their way to consoles very, very soon. Because, of course, we have a map like this, we have Truck Night, we have some of the other crawler-based maps, but I would really like to see some really huge maps with really expansive crawling and trail riding networks that you can really use to just go into co-op with your friends and spend hours roaming around. And I think also, too, as we are, you know, just now starting into the month of March, it's really interesting to think back to a year ago and remember that this is when we were gearing up for the release of SnowRunner. This is when, you know, we were all kind of, you know, figuring out when is this game gonna drop, you know, what's it gonna be like when it drops, what's it gonna feel like, what's the community gonna be like. And I think almost a year later, it really has grown into quite an incredible community, and it really has grown into its own in terms of its player base, as well as the incredible mod support that we see on a daily basis from both the vehicle creators as well as the map creators, and some that have been around for forever and some that have been just recently emerging within the community. So with all of that being said, I hope you guys enjoyed this look at what I consider to be one of the best map and vehicle combinations you can have on console right now, especially with the space restriction and the RAM restriction. However, again, if you're watching this in the future after that patch has gone live, that will of course change. But of course, as we're saying right now, this is one of the best combinations you can currently have, and I highly encourage you to give this vehicle a run if you haven't already. So that is going to do it for this video, guys. If you enjoyed, then make sure to let me know all of those thoughts and opinions in the comments down below. Hit that like button if you enjoyed, subscribe if you're new, and I will see you guys in the next one.